My name is Jessica and I have no idea what I'm doing. Today I'm finally going to be testing out the IBY Beauty Hollywood Glam eyeshadow palette. I know, I bought this in the spring, it's fall, I'm finally testing it. That's because I have too much makeup, I know. But finally testing it out today. This is going to be an interesting palette because there is only one matte here, maybe two. So Sunset Boulevard here is like a matte beigey cream color. And then I'm wondering if Late Night is one of those like a matte black with sparkles in it. Or is it like a shimmer? We'll find out. As per usual, I have this eye primed, this eye not, so we can see what goes on. I am going to start with my dollar store brush and use that Sunset Boulevard shade just to set my eyeshadow primer and create a base, as I usually do. Looks like we have a lot of pigment to it, that's good. How much construction can this neighborhood really do? Shouldn't they be done by now? You know what? There's a couple shades in here that look quite similar. So I might actually do a couple swatches now to see what's going on. Hollywood and Walk of Fame look pretty similar, and also Dramatic and Late Night. So I'm going to start with Hollywood. See what happens. Ooh, that's like a gray purple kind of shade. And then Walk of Fame, oh, is a lot darker. Okay, yeah, that one is like a plum, almost black. Got it. And then we have Dramatic, which looks like a shimmery black. Like a black gray, I guess. Nice. And then Late Night, which is that shade I said that might just be, ooh, very pretty. Black with, looks like maybe silver, maybe even blue sparkles. But will the sparkles actually stay? So far they look like they're staying. But I kind of don't know why they would put both of these in here. I don't feel like you need both. All right, now that I have an idea of what that looks like, I'm going to take Walk of Fame, which is the shimmery black and plum shade. I'm gonna put that in my crease with my IBY crease brush. Wow, that's nice. I know a lot of people don't like putting shimmers in the crease. I don't mind. And this seems to be very pigmented, it's blending out very nicely. I like that. It's a little dark for my liking. It's a little, like not as colorful, because that's what I usually do if you're new here. But I kind of knew what I was getting into when I bought this palette. Also, I feel like when you apply it in this way, it kind of turns into a satin. So for people who really don't like shimmers in your crease, I mean, it's not like a blatant shimmer. It's becoming more of a satin when you blend it like this. Then I'm going to take the same shade, Walk of Fame, on my pinky, and I'm going to put that on the outer third of my eye. Very nice. I do wish it had a little bit more purple to it, but the quality seems good, which I'm not surprised because I do like IBY Beauty, even though definitely some palettes are better than others, which if you haven't seen those, check them out on the channel. Next I'm going in with Hollywood, which is like the medium gray purple. Yeah. And I'm going to put that on the middle of my lid and just blend it by rubbing back and forth a little bit with the other shade, just like that. Then I'm going to take Celebrity, which looks like a shimmery pinky wow. That does not even do it justice because that's really bright on camera. Wow, when I see that here, it even looks like it has a little bit of a blue iridescence in it. That's very pretty. So I'm gonna say that's more of like a, yeah, it's like a pinky lilac, but it has that little bit of blue in it. So I want to say like it leans more. Wow, wait, let me see. If I tilt my finger, can you see like the ever so slight like duochrome or iridescence to it? That is very pretty. That is going on the inner third of the lid and blended into the shade next to it. I very much like that. That is so pretty. Next, I'm taking my BH Cosmetics brush with a 5 on it, and I'm just going to mimic what I have on the lid on the lower lash line, as I usually do. So I'm starting with Walk of Fame, which is the deeper plum shade. I'm going to go on the outer third of my lower lash line with it. Then I'm going into Hollywood, the like gray, purple, lavender color in the middle third. And then Celebrity on the inner third. That is so pretty. That one definitely applies better with a finger, but that's all right. To finish off, I'm going to go in with my dollar store brush. I was going to go in with Leading Lady for my brow bone highlight, but I think I'm gonna go in with Celebrity. I'm gonna see how that goes. Might be too dark for me. Wow, look at that. It's probably gonna be too dark. I could have mixed it with Leading Lady, but I want to see what it does on its own. All right, when you blend it out like that, it can work. It can definitely work for a skin tone that's darker than mine, which isn't hard to do, but it looks like it can even work for someone as fair as me. It isn't like terribly, well, I guess you see it there. I was gonna say it isn't like terribly metallic when you do it that way. Like definitely the finger is the best way to apply that one. I am happily surprised with that. And the quality for all of them was very good. Really, really, the mascara had to ruin my look. While I wait for that to dry so I can take it off and fix it, I might as well continue with the swatches now because, I mean, I did a third of them already. So I'm going to go in with Leading Lady next. Not go in with it, I'm going to swatch it. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like a frosty, almost glittery white shimmer. Not as impressive in a swatch, but maybe on the lid it'll look more impressive. Next, I'm going in with Sunset Boulevard, which is that matte beige cream shade. Yeah, I did like that as a base. Next is Award, which is this gold. Obviously, I'm going out of order now because I had already swatched some. Looks like a nice, like a pale yellow gold. Closer to my skin than I thought, at least for swatching purposes. But again, we'll have to see what that looks like on the lid. Next is Legendary, which is a navy. Yeah, that looks nice. This one looks more like a true shimmer, almost satin. Yeah. Which, you know me, I'm all about the shimmer and shine. Next is Megastar, which looks like that same texture, but like a mulberry version. That's pretty. Kind of like that. Yeah, but I would have preferred more shimmer. But again, we'll have to see what these look like on the lid. Then we have Starlit, which is a red. Coming off more like a coral or a light red. It's like kind of sparkly. interesting. And I think that'll probably come off better on the lid, or it might need a glitter glue to help it out. And then last but not least, we have Diva, which looks like a shimmery gray. Yeah. A blue gray. Yeah. So there we have it. Why didn't you guys tell me I missed one? I missed my favorite one. Celebrity. And haha, so pretty. I like it. And I'll put it there. Yeah, I mean, you get an idea, but nah. What you saw here and even on my finger is better than this swatch and what it can show you. Alright, so yesterday's look wore pretty well throughout the day. Even the side without the primer, there really wasn't much difference between the two, so I'm happy with that. Just to test that out a little more, I primed this eye and not this eye once again. And for the next look, I think I'm going to play around with the sparkly one and the white one here, or whatever color that is, white-ish. I'm going to start by going into Sunset Boulevard with my dollar store brush, as per usual, just to set the eyeshadow primer and create a base from crease to brow bone. And then I want to see what this shade Late Night does. So I'm taking my IBY crease brush and I'm going into it, and I'm going to use it as a crease shade. That's very pigmented. Let's see what it does. That's so dark. I know, it's a black eyeshadow, but of all the colors out there, black is definitely not one I use a lot. I'm just gonna try and softly blend that out. As softly as I can. Again, it's black. I'm just gonna try and clean the brush off a little bit and just keep going upward. And yeah, the sparkles are pretty much gone. There's ever so slightly a sheen to it, like it's not completely matte. It's pretty matte though. But maybe when I put some of this on the lid, the sparkles will stay. I hope so. I'm gonna go back in with my dollar store brush and go into Leading Lady. And that is going to be my brow bone highlight. Wow, okay. That's powerful. With a little bit of the black underneath as it's blending upward, it almost takes on a silvery tone. I'm not sure that I like that for a brow bone highlight, but it's what we got today. Alright, next I'm going to take Late Night on my pinky. And yeah, so you can see the sparkles there. I'm going to put that on the outer third of my lid. Just kind of pressing it, because I really want those sparkles to stay. Okay, they're there. Yep. Can you see them? I don't know how well you can see them in the camera, but they're there. You can definitely see them in person. And then I don't usually do this, but I'm actually going to use the whitish shimmery shade on the inner 2/3 of the lid. Yeah, even here it's taking on a silvery color. Like it looks almost off-white in the pan, but I think you can see on the lid and even on my brow bone, it's more of a white, almost silver. Look at that, wow. So yeah, see how it definitely looks cooler and more silvery here than here. And of course, to blend it, I'm just tapping over where the black starts, so that I kind of fade one into the other. This is pretty easy to do with these kinds of shades, because silver and black definitely blend together easily. This one looks so much brighter. I think it's just the light from my window that way. Quite a bit of fallout, but I'm just brushing it away. And then I'm just going to mimic my lid on the lower lash line as usual. I'm taking my BH Cosmetics brush with a 5 on it and going into Late Night. That's gonna go on the outer third of my lid. My lower lash line. And just kind of patting to see if we can keep some sparkle down there, if possible. Yeah, I see them. And I'm taking the same brush and going into Leading Lady and putting that on the inner 2/3 of my lid. And then just kind of swiping the two together where they meet, like that, so that they start blending. I will say though, this is not applying that well with a brush, the Leading Lady shade. I have a feeling these shimmers are really better with the finger, which is fine by me because I usually just use my fingers anyway. It's the same issue I had with Celebrity yesterday. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger. I have a feeling if you wet your brush, you'll probably be fine, but we all know I don't do that here. Too lazy. To finish off, I'm going to use Leading Lady as an inner corner highlight, so you guys can see what that looks like. This is my BH Cosmetics brush with a 6 on it. Again, with the brush, not that impressive. This one needs a finger for sure, so I'm going to take a little bit on my finger once again and just kind of, yeah, see the difference? And then I'll just go back in with my brush just to blend out the edge a little bit. The last thing I'm going to do with this look is I'm going to use Leading Lady as a highlighter. So I'm taking my Moda contour brush and I'm just gonna go in there and see what happens. It's there, but I think it really needs to be applied, like I said, with a finger. So I will. This is how I used to apply highlighter most of the time anyway. See that? So I would go like this, and then I would just kind of buff it out on the edges. Yeah, so now we have like a silvery white highlighter. Alright, so yesterday's look didn't wear quite as well as the look before it, but still pretty well. It was mostly this shade here, the Late Night shade. It kind of moved around a little bit. It was about equal on both sides, the primed side and the not primed side. There wasn't that much difference, but I really can't say that I've ever really had one of these kinds of shades that performed perfectly like the way I wanted it to. The ones that have the glitter running through it. So, but it still wasn't bad. So once again, I did the same thing. This side is primed, this side is not, And I already put Sunset Boulevard from crease to brow bone on both sides. Now I'm going in with my IBY crease brush, and I'm very excited to try out Megastar, which is the shimmery, like mulberry plum shade. And that is gonna go in my crease. It's lighter than I thought. Let's see. Yeah, it's coming out lighter than I thought it would be. I was hoping it would be a little deeper, but let's see if we can build it up. And just going to clean that off so I can continue blending upward. I'm going to try and put some more. Well, we'll see. Next I'm going to take that same shade and put it on the outer third of my lid. I guess this one is kind of like Hollywood, where you think it's going to be one way in the pan, but it's a little bit different on the eye. Then I'm going to take Starlit, which is the shimmery, like red coral color. I just anticipate needing a glitter glue with this one, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna put it on the middle of my eye. Okay, not bad. Just a different texture than the other shimmers in the palette. And just blend them together. I like that. That's usually not the kind of shade I go for, so I'm surprised. And then I'm going to take Award and put that on the inner third. And of course, blend them together. I like that. Like a deeper, more subtle sunset kind of look with like the purpley to reddish to gold. And I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics brush with a 5 on it and go into Megastar again, and I'm just going to do what I usually do. Mimic the lid on the lower lash line. So the purpley one is going on the outer third. The reddish one, Starlit, is going on the inner third. I mean the middle third. Yeah, it looks like the sparkles, or rather the shimmer, doesn't stay as much with the brush. So I wonder if that can be used in the crease, maybe. And then taking Award, and that's going on the inner third. And I'm going to finish off with my dollar store brush into Leading Lady, which is the whitish silver. That's going to be my brow bone highlight. And the birds in the background are very excited about it. Those birds are outside, by the way. I don't have any pet birds. They're just loud outside birds. Alright, so before my hair completely comes out, I like the look that I came up with. I think the majority of the shades performed well. I'm just a little disappointed in that Megastar shade. It definitely worked better on the lid than the crease, which is really where it belongs. Not all shimmers like to be in the crease. But I think the main thing is that it's just not as dark as it appears to be. Like, I was really just hoping for a rich mulberry, where it's not. It's lighter. I was pleasantly surprised by that, what was that one called? The reddish one, Starlit. I thought it was going to need a glitter glue. I thought it was going to be like dry, flaky, and not really go on well, but it looks very nice and it went on just fine. And definitely all of these shades, I mean, except for Sunset Boulevard, which is a matte, work better with a finger than a brush. Alright, so today I'm going to do the final look. I'm going to use the remaining shades in the palette. Yesterday's look wore very well, and again, it looked pretty much the same between the two eyes. So once again, I have one eye primed, one eye not primed, and I set from crease to brow bone with the Sunset Boulevard shade. So what I'm going to do today is, I'm going to start, I think, with this brush here. My BH Cosmetics brush with a 3 on it. Again, you would think I would know my brushes by now, but I don't. And I'm going to start with Legendary, which is the blue. Don't know if you can see it on there, but I can. I think, I don't know. I'm going to see where this shade takes me. I'm going to see what it wants to do. I'm going to start in my crease and see what happens. I'm just going to clean that brush off and then use it to blend out the edges. Not thrilled with how that worked, which is kind of funny because the ones that I'm not thrilled with in the crease are the ones that are more satiny. And you would think that a satin would be better in the crease than a straight up shimmer would, but I do want to see what Dramatic does though, because I just want to compare it to how it performs to how Late Night performs. So I'm going to take my IBY crease brush, go into Dramatic, which is the shimmery black, and I'm going to put that in my crease. Yeah, I mean, not that different. I have a feeling I'm going to like this better in the crease than I did Late Night. Just because, like I said, the shades like this, no matter what brand they're from, just never seem to work that well for me. The ones that have the sparkles running through them and they're supposed to be like a matte or a satin. Then I'm going to take Dramatic on my pinky, and nice. And I'm going to put that on the outer third of my eye. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I know a lot of people don't like anything other than a matte black, but I like metallic blacks and shimmery blacks. Then I'm going to take a Legendary, and let's see what it does on the lid. I'm going to put that in the middle of my lid. Better, but there really isn't much shine to it. It's like a true satin, I guess. And I just prefer shimmery shades. I also feel like it's not as blue on my eye as it is in the pan. Next, I'm going to go in with Diva, which is like the gray with like a tiny hint of blue in it. I'm going to put that on the inner third of my eye. And just blend it inwards. That is all very dark. I should have expected that. I'm going back in with Legendary just to try to bring some of that blue back because I overblended. Yeah, this is like a very smoky eye. And I'm going to take my IBY crease brush again, clean, and just blend this out a little more because I see that the line is a little harsh. This is definitely not my kind of look. I want more contrast between here and here usually. But hey, maybe one of you out there likes this kind of look. Then I'm going to mimic the lid on the lower lash line as I usually do with my BH Cosmetics brush with a 5 on it. I'm going to start with Dramatic and put that on the outer third of the lower lash line, just kind of tapping it. Then I'm going to take Legendary, the blue, yeah, see how you can't really tell the difference? And then Diva, which is the gunmetal color, I guess. Yeah, so that's one of those shades in here again that is better with a finger than a brush. There we go. And just because why not, I'm going to use Celebrity on my inner corner. That is so pretty. I love that shade. Alright, I definitely like it better now that it's on both eyes, but this is very dark and not as metallic for me. I mean, if this is your kind of look, I think you're going to like it a lot. I mean, again, I knew what I was getting into when I bought a palette like this. I think the quality overall is very good. This shade here is absolutely stunning. I really like Leading Lady too. And I was happily surprised with this one. It was drier and more glittery, so I thought it wasn't going to perform well, but it performed really well. But if you're someone who needs mattes for a look, you're not gonna like this because you have this one. That one doesn't really count. So that's it. If you're someone who really likes satins and shimmers and you like these colors, then I think this is a palette that's worth it for you. As for me, I'm going to be using this in conjunction with my other IBY Beauty palettes, and that's how I'm going to enjoy using it. The last thing I want to do before I go though is use my Moda contour brush. I want to try Celebrity as a highlight, just because. So I'm going to go in. That's a lot. This is probably a mistake, but that's very purple. But if you have a deeper skin tone, this will probably look really good on you. That's not terrible. Yeah, you know what? I have other purple highlighters. I mean, highlighters that are actually purple. This is an eyeshadow. But I do have purple highlighters, and even though they're a little dark on me, I wear them anyway. So what am I complaining about? Yeah. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you have a good day no matter what it is you're doing. Bye! See you next time!